Alright guys, so today is Barron's book day. Everyone should have their Barron's book in front of you. So what you need to have in front of you for today's instruction is you need to have your Barron's book, obviously. You need to have your scope and sequence that I have already given you, and you need to have your vocab packet. So you should have only three, and of course a pen. So you need to have your Barron's book, your scope and sequence that you picked up yesterday after the test, and you need to have your vocab packet. So please make sure you have all three of those things on your desk. By the end of class today, you will know exactly what the next 6 weeks are going to look like. Now it's 6 full weeks and about 4 days of writing week. The writing week for week 7, that Thursday of that week, is your AP exam. So it's coming, and it's coming real quick. So everyone on your Barron's book should be just like Caroline, who is doing a wonderful job, and pretty, by the way. So on the cover of your Barron's book, you should be writing your last name, or if you have a unique first name, that's fine. And then on all 3 sides of your book, you need to have it marked. So on Fridays when you turn in your Barron's book, you're going to come into class, drop it off in the front, so that way when you finish your test, you're going to be able to pull your book really quickly, and we're not going to have the confusion of whose book is whose. Everyone good? All right. So I want you to please flip your scope and sequence to the back. We're going to fill out some information so you know exactly how the point values are going to work from here on out. Now, for a normal week, okay, our test, so you're going to write down what I'm writing down, of course, so everyone is on the same page. Test days. It's on Friday. Barron's book?
Yep.
Cool. 35 questions. All AP. Okay, so your test day is every Friday, 35 questions, all AP. Okay, so every Monday, we check Friday's test. So, as a class, we go over all of the answers together. That is different for us, would you agree? We usually just keep moving on. It's important that we're going back and reflecting. When we do our AP mock exam a week from Saturday, friends, we're also going to go through all of those answers together. Through class, you're going to be able to go back, look at it, ask me questions, whatever you have. Then we're going to go through all of the essays that you wrote during that AP mock exam. Is everyone clear on that? During AP review, you have to reflect on what you do and what you do not know. So instead of you just studying everything, which is impossible, it took us 29 weeks to get here. How are you going to jam 29 weeks into 7 weeks? You have learned things, so you have to figure out what you do know and what you don't know. And what you do know, you just kind of keep moving forward, correct? What you don't know is that's the stuff that you really target and you focus in on. That's why we're going to go through our tests every single Monday. Is everyone clear on that? What that means, with a big star, if you're absent on a Friday, you need to make up the test beforehand. Okay? The reason why this is so important and why I'm forcing you to write it down is because if I'm taking time out on a Monday during my instruction in the last 6 whole weeks, do you think it's important for us to go back through and look at the questions? So if you don't take the test on Friday, you obviously can't sit and listen and look at all the damn answers as we're going over, because then you're missing the opportunity to figure out what you do and what you do not know from that period, correct? So you have to do it beforehand, or it's like you've missed 2 days of instruction. Does that make sense? So if you're not going to be here on a Friday, I would plan that Thursday, maybe during your lunch, since you have me. I only teach AP World in the morning, taking it at lunch that week. So that way when you come back to school on Monday after your Friday absence, you can participate in what is actually the most important component of taking a test during review, is the actual going over the answers. Does that make sense? It's not just about kind of getting through the content like the 29 weeks have been up to. For the weeks of review, it's about sitting there and going through it. What up, Bergen?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, good. It's AP. It's Barron's book day.
Uh-oh.
So
I hope
far,
nobody forgot.
I know. Can you pass it back to Sarah for me? Thank you. So, bye, sweetie. Nice seeing you. So, test day's Friday. Monday we go over all the answers. So these are your grades. These are the only opportunities for you to make. These are the only things that are going into the grade books. Are we ready? So every single week you'll have a do now. And how many points is your do now worth, people? 20. So this is nothing new. 20 points. Okay, you're also going to have vocab again, except now it's going to be worth 40 points. Okay, then you have your tests. Your tests are now going to be worth 70 points. And then you have your Barron's book, which is worth 150 points. Ladies and gentlemen, what can you absolutely not screw up? The test will be okay. Because if you do your vocab well and you do the do now, you kind of balance off like poor test grades. Does that make sense? It balances it out. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not a great test taker, all of you have improved significantly since I first met you, truly. But if you're still not a strong test taker, as long as you do your Barron's book, you can't mess up an A. Do you see? It's worth so many points that essentially, if you do what you're supposed to do, and I'm going to show you exactly what I need you to be doing, okay? How to score an A in second semester, in fourth quarter. Hello, not second semester. There's nothing I can do about third quarter. Fourth quarter, if you're doing your Barron's book and you're turning in your do now and your vocab, no matter how poorly you do on your test, you'll get an A, because this is so damn high. Do you see that? On the other side of it, if you crush the tests, complete your do now, which we can all agree is not that hard, and you do well in the vocab, but you do complete crap on your Barron's book, you are completely screwed and you will fail fourth quarter. So ladies and gentlemen, what is the most important thing that you accomplish? It is actually incredibly helpful. You will hate it. I know this. You can ask any of my previous generation of AP World kids. They will tell you it's awful. But after the exam, guess what? All of them buy the Barron's book for a push. Guess what they're all starting to do this week? Their Barron's book. Why? Because it worked. Are you going to enjoy it? No. Are the points there for it, though? It's not like you're getting 70 points for your Barron's book. I'm trying to make it carry a lot of weight, so it's worth the time, the effort, and all of that. Is everyone clear on that? Do you see how important it is by weight? Okay? Your Barron's book is due every Friday. Absolutely. No late Barrons. So, what that means is you are going to come to class on Friday and you are going to sit down and take my test. If you don't turn in a Barron's book at the very beginning of class, it's a 0. If you leave your Barron's book at home on a Friday and you do not bring it to class, it is a 0. There is no makeup on Barron's book. It is due the moment you take the test. So say, for instance, Daniel, give me a minute. So say, for instance, you're going to take it on Thursday because you're going to be absent on Friday. Guess what day your Barron's book is due?
Thursday.
Is everyone explicitly clear on this? There is no, oh my God, Miss Bennett. I don't give a crap. No. I hope you saw over 29 weeks. I was very kind about makeup work, correct? Some of you turned in 2 weeks ago, work from week 19. And guess what? It went into that damn grade book. Guess what? Nah, I'm done, man. We're in review. There's no makeups. There's makeup on like Do Now and all that crap, but not on your Barron's book. That's how much points it's worth. That's when it's due. Absolutely no exceptions. Is everyone explicitly clear on this? Okay? When your parents call me because you didn't turn in a Barron's book because you forgot it, I'm going to send them a link to this video where they will hear on March 29th that every day that you take a test, your Barron's book is due. Absolutely no exceptions. I will not do you dirty and accept one kid's book and not yours. I'm flat out not accepting any late Barron's book. Is everyone clear on that? So tell your mamas, tell your papas, or whoever loves you that this is how it is. Yeah. All right. So your Barron's book, 150 points, due every Friday. Absolutely no late Barron's accepted. All right. Vocab. That's it. That's it. That's all you got. So flip it over to the front. That's all of your grades for the next 7 weeks. Okay? Now, you will see broken down week 1, period 1 and 2. I'm putting them all together because at the end of the day, period 1 and 2 only worth 20% of your exam. 5% comes from period 1, 15% comes from period 2, and we got to move. Correct? So, we're grouping them all together. You will see, I'll get to the actual Barron's book here in a second, but I want you to look at your vocab packet first. So, everyone needs to have their vocab packet out on their desk. Okay, so, Monday coming up, you have a 3-day weekend, by the way. That Monday, you have week 2 vocab. So, if you open up your vocab packet to week 2, okay, you will see that on Monday you have a vocab quiz on the first 10 words. So, when it says week 2, it's not 30 words of week 2. It's the first 10 words of week 2. Daniel, what did you have a question on, my darling? I'm sorry.
Okay, you already answered it.
Perfect. I have a tendency of doing that. So, when it says week 2, it's only the first 10 words of week 2. So on Tuesday, you have week 4. So flip it, go to week 4, you will see you will have a vocab quiz on the first 10 words. Does everyone understand how the vocab works? Okay. The first 10 words of every week I have up here. It's out of 40 points. You would be really remiss not to do well on these. Because your tests are going to be harder. You know that, right? They're AP, 100% AP. There's no easy fluff questions. You're not going to see me standing here with a folder telling you need to know like Wagoon or whatever, the net wall for however you say it for internet security, how I literally spelt it out for you and said write this down. That time's over, friends. That's over. You're not going to see me stand up here with it because that doesn't do you a service in review, correct? What you will be doing is your Barron's book, which I'm going to get to here in a second, and that will help prepare you for that test, as well as other things that I'll be telling you how to do. So, you definitely need these points. You'd be an idiot not to earn all these points, or at least 8s or above on all these tests, because anything less than that is going to make it a lot harder on you because the tests are going to be harder. Okay? All right. So let's get into what it actually means to do a Barron's book. So first of all, I have gifts for you. I have a highlighter for each and every one of you. So I'm going to pass it around. Do not take more than one, but you're more than welcome to take one. If you don't like them, then don't take them. But I have a gift for you. All right, so with your Barron's book, you will see on my scope and sequence, you can obviously tell this is the most important piece of paper you own right now, correct? So on your Barron's book, on your scope and sequence, you will see that it has pages 45 through 116. Every single week, you will see that it has a bunch of pages broken down. Just like how we did with the first semester, how we've done all the 29 weeks all the way through. Only study the pages I have marked. Anything before and anything after does not matter. It's just those weeks. Now, if you open up your Barron's book, is that your check? Nope, you go. I got that check. It's just right here. All right, so open up your Barron's book, and you will go to page 45. Okay, so 45 is right here. It says Unit 1. If you kind of flip through the pages prior to page 45, just flip through it. You're not going to do anything on these pages. It just tells you a little bit more insight on how to use the books. There's a big writing section of it. Don't pay attention to the writing section. Actually, if you never read the pages 1 through 45, I'm kind of okay with it. I'm going to teach you how to use a Barron's book. My writing tips and my writing style is going to be better than a textbook. Can we agree? Yes, because I'm way more updated than this book is. So you can just ignore it. But there are some interesting, kind of helpful things, I guess. They do break things down nicely in the very front of the different sections. Breakdown of the exam, your course themes. And there's some things. I mean, if you care, you can read it. If you don't care, I could care less. You're going to spend a lot of time in the other parts of the book, so it doesn't offend me. All right, so if you go back to page 45. Okay, so 45 technically just says Unit 1. Do you think you have to do anything on this page? No, obviously not. Do you have anything to do on a blank page? No. So your technically first page is page 47. Okay, so you need to have a pen with you. I will not accept pencil. And is anyone here a real hardcore pencil fan? No? If you really want to use pencil, you can. I just really don't like it. You don't have you're a hardcore pencil fan?
Yeah.
You can use a pencil if you want. I just hate it. I just hate it. And that's just a personal thing. But if you're a hardcore Cali pencil fan, you can use your damn pencil. Do you think I'm that snotty to care? No. I know, but I broke it immediately as soon as Callie asked to use a pencil, so. Huh? I don't care. I don't care. As long as the work gets done, I really don't care, I guess. But I would like it known that I don't like pencils. Is that fair? You can completely disregard it, but just know. See, Ryan doesn't have a pen. Ryan has a pencil, and of course, I hate pencils. All right, so this is what I'm expecting you to do. So you need to have a highlighter and you need to have a pencil. Okay, so you're going to read through, you're going to highlight the most important things, and then you're going to make notes in the columns. This is what good note-taking looks like when you're reading a text. In college, you're going to have, if you don't have a textbook and your professor doesn't teach, which is a lot of time, they'll just teach one part when you have to study everything else. This is a really good study technique of how to prepare when the teachers aren't teaching you. Obviously, I'll still be up front teaching you, but there's still a lot of stuff you need to get through. So, general remarks. Hominoid or human-like creatures appeared on the earth approximately 3 to 4 million years ago. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, evolved sometime around 200,000 years ago, according to most scholars. Here we go. So this sounds really important. It's 200,000 years ago. Most scholars' birthplace is East Africa. So, in the column, I'm going to write first humans. 200,000 years ago. Home place. East Africa. Okay? From there, they spread around the rest of the globe, starting. So, from the period approximately 2.5 million years ago to 5,000 or 6,000 years ago is referred to the Stone Age. So, I'm just going to write Stone Age. Okay, Stone Age, basic technology. Okay, from this time, I'm just going to highlight Stone Age. I'm going to do low-level social. Okay, I'm fine with you not highlighting a whole thing. But if you draw like a nice little line or whatever to what it actually is, I'm fine. There's no reason for you to go through and highlight everything. That's not the point of highlighting, friends. Why would I want you to highlight an entire book? That makes zero sense. Okay? Stone Age, basic tech, and low social structures. Okay, the principal form of social organization. So we got kinship groups. Hunting and gathering. Wider assortment, increasingly made out of. So, principal form of social was social kinship, hunting and foraging. There you go. So, then we have the Neolithic age. Neolithic revolution. Allowing them to populate during the Neolithic revolution, came to a wider assortment of tools, increasingly made out of metal. So we got metal tools. So during the Neolithic revolution, we've got wider assortment, increasingly made out of metal. We have domestication of animals and plants giving rise to pastoralism and agriculture. So the Neolithic, we got metal tools. We've got domesticated animals. And we've got agriculture. We got pastoralism. They develop elaborate religions, recording, record keeping. So we got religions. We've got record keeping. Okay, we've got specialization of labor. Okay, and we got patriarchy. Yes. Okay, so I'm not going to include metallurgy, special social hierarchies, writing system. Okay. Oh, and I need to write cities, of course, that's a big deal. Okay, so what you're doing, you are going through the text, you're highlighting the most important thing, and then you're just keeping a running note system. The reason is, how many things have you highlighted in your school career since you were a little kid? How much of that do you really retain? None. However, if you highlight, if you read it, you highlight it, and write it, you're dealing with the same information 3 times, you're significantly more likely to remember it, and that's why we're doing this. Now, would you agree this takes time? You have to budget your time. If you think you're going to do this on Thursday night, you are completely wrong. Every year, I get kids who post on my Twitter account just to let me know they're still up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing their Barron's book. If you do not plan accordingly, you will get rocked. So, I would keep it with you. Whenever you have a free minute, I would sit there and start working. Now, you only need to go to page 116, which is a lot. Okay, so you are responsible for this entire section. Now, if you flip through, so what we just looked at is Unit 1 shortcut. Okay, so this gives you the big overview of the sections. When you have charts and stuff like this, okay, I would just put a note. I would make a note of things like you didn't know. Does that make sense? For instance, weaving and pottery, that's not something I really talked about. Can we agree? So I would put a big star here just to bring attention to it. If you can, so this section shouldn't have crazy amounts of notes because it's a short overview. It's this section, Unit 1, the scenic route, goes into more details about how everything is all shaped. This should be your more dense. Does that make sense? You do. It doesn't have to be. The charts, no, you don't have to necessarily. You need to read them. Well, no, you say that like that is, common that everyone would read a chart. that's crap. Some of you don't read the sections that have color block around in your textbook. Would you agree? Yeah, that's absolutely true statement there. So, section, as you go through, you're in the scenic section, it's going to go through, they break it down by different spice. Okay, developments, interactions, and stuff like that. You will see your spice is being shoved down your throat once again in a totally different format. The funny thing is, if you open this, if you had this book for a whole year, all of your spice themes would have been laid out for you. You could have used this for your spice, and it would have been all right there for you. It would have been super easy. It's fine. Does that help or hurt? Hurts. Good. So, as you go. So, what does it look like? Okay, now this book isn't my best book, but it's a book I have. Okay, this would probably get you about a 130. This would probably, towards the end, this is going to get you about a 150 down here. 130 because she doesn't highlight. Okay, but as you see, different weeks are better than others. As you can see, some weeks she plans, this would be a 150. Okay, she's highlighted, she's making notes in the column. Okay, that is 150. Okay, the first week she does it, it's incredibly light. As you can see, progression occurs. You can see it's very light. She probably got not even, probably a 90. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Not this. You got 5 was her, 4 was her best. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. You can't really see it. That's unfortunate. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Yep. Yes?
If the word is woven, she pretty much just highlight it and like make a note of it.
Yeah, pretty much. You're just making a quick little note. I don't need you to rewrite the textbooks, people. That's not necessary. But this would be what a 150 looks like. Okay, do you see how this is different from this? She got the notes, didn't do the highlights, so she would lose probably like 10 points. Okay, there you go. That's your Barron's book. 150 points. If you don't do it, you're completely screwed, and you will fail. You will absolutely fail. And just because you did some, doesn't mean I give you the points. I'm kind of harsh on Barron's book, because it's really important. At the end, after your AP exam, you'll be like, yeah, damn it, the Barron's book worked. Will you hate the Barron's book? Yes. Will all of you be walking around school with them and it'll look like I'm starting my own cult? Yes. However, it does work. It is effective. And this is what it should look like over here. So, that's what it looks like. Questions? Concerns? Comments? Okay, so every single week, your tests are on Fridays. Mondays, we check our tests. We go back through the answers. If you did not take the test on Friday, you're going to sit outside and wait and miss a huge opportunity if I'm taking time off to do it. Now, what is classroom instruction going to look like? I'm going to be covering things. I've been making notes all year on things you've been weak through at the end of every period or at the end of every test, depending on how bad the test was or how good, or, you know, after like kind of reflecting on, I made notes about things I'm going to reteach again, okay, and kind of go back through. So that's what I'm going to do in class. The Barron's book is your responsibility, not mine. Is everyone clear on that? You're really not going to have time in class to do it because I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to be going through some things. Throughout the course of the 29 weeks, I was very small picture, correct? We learned one event. We connected it to another event. Then we connected it to another event. Now in review, it's big picture. We need to see how all these things interact, and that's why the Barron's book is really good, because it's completely opposite of the way I've been teaching. It's just big picture. So I think it's a really nice opposition to how we learned history. It's through like the details Now it's big pictures. Well, because of the Protestant Reformation, Catholics become really diehard, and because of this whole thing, they go out and really push their religion on Africans as a way to continue and ensure their religion exists. It's not something I pointed out during week 24, right? But it's a huge reason why Catholics are going out and going to Africa. So, that's it, friends. That's it. Christian, what's up?
So, since we turn our books in,
You're going to pick them up after you take your test.
well, we turn them in. So does that mean every Friday we should have at least one meeting done, or?
Every Friday, you need to have this 45 through 116 done. We do everything by week still. So week 1, Friday is your test. Friday, your Barron's book is due, and you need to have page 45 through 116 done. Then for week 2, you need to have 119 through 83 done. So you're going to come in, turn them in on the desk while you're testing. I'm going to be going through and grading your Barron's book. When I'm grading your Barron's book, I put it back on the shelf. So as soon as you finish, you'll never not have your Barron's book with you for an extended amount of time. So you'll drop it off, and you'll probably pick it up by the time you finish your test. So that way, there's no real drag. I'm not trying to hold them in my room and take a day away from you not having it. Does that make sense? That's not my desire. Abby?
Is the test each Friday just on the...
Yeah, it's just on period 1 and 2. Then it's 1 test on period 3. Same exact thing. Yeah, it doesn't build. That's why we do mock exams, to kind of keep the whole big picture in place. What?
It says tests must be taken.
Oh, it's for AP Psych. It's an AP Psych. You don't have test questions in yours. Yeah, sorry. Good reading though. What do you got, Mayla?
How many points will the writing?
The what?
The writing.
Oh, we'll get it's. You've seen writing weeks before. It's a very similar format. During writing week, you have no Barron's book. So, that's a good week to get ahead if you have that kind of time. Now, just like with everything else, obviously when I see your book on Friday of next week, if your entire book is complete, like my girls here, do you think I'm going to believe that in 1 week you did this entire book? No. But if you ever find time you can get ahead, you are more than welcome to work ahead. Does that make sense? Yes? It's just like with my class. I don't control my schedule, so I need to be able to have a little bit of flexibility. If you know in 3 weeks you're going to get rocked because you have tons of crazy things to do. Well, 3 weeks isn't a good example. It's writing week, and I really can't help you there. But, you can work ahead. I don't think you're going to have a ton of time to work ahead because it does take time. At any point throughout this week and next week, you are more than welcome to ask me, hey, Miss Bennett, how does this look? And I will tell you, whoa, you are writing too much. Or, honey, you ain't writing enough. And I will be happy to tell you, looking at those pages, what I think you would earn. Does that make sense? Because I'm not trying to kill you, but you do need to go through and you do need to make your little notes. Is that clear? I don't want you to rewrite the text, though. That's stupid, and no one benefits from that. Is everyone clear? So at any point, you're more than welcome to open up a couple pages and be like, Bennett, what do you think? Is this too much, too little? Let me know. And I'll be happy to let you know. All right. Everyone else good? All right. I'll give you the rest of the period to work on your Barron's. See ya.